Well, I am very pleased to be joined by my next guest, Ryan Palmer. He's a four-time winner on the PGA Tour, and he's been with his caddy, James Edmondson, for 19 years. This is one of the real strong duos on tour. Ryan, how you doing, man?
Hey, Garrett, doing good. Yeah, happy to be back at Sawgrass here in the patio. Just got my negative test again, so ready to get to work. And crazy, we're here a year later after what all transpired last year. So excited for the week.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's been a year. So I want to ask you to start with your caddy, and you guys have been together for almost 2 decades. What works so well between Ryan Palmer and James Edmondson?
Yeah, it started back in high school. We met on the range at regionals. He was in Fort Worth. I was from Amarillo, and we met. Um, Saw each other again in college when he was at the University of Houston. I was at A&M, and just kind of kept seeing each other and got to know each other real well. And then we traveled together in 2000 on the Hooters tour, playing the mini tours. And, he quit playing right around '02, and I made it to finals of tour school. And he caddied for me for a few events for fun when I played the Adams Tight Lights tour. And I was heading to finals and thought, see if he wanted to join me. And sure enough, he did. And here we are, 18 years later. But, it's just been a great friendship off the golf course. And that's been the biggest thing. And, it carries over to the golf course. I have the personality of, I'd struggle if I was bouncing around trying to find the right caddy year in and year out. And it stuck. And, he knows my times when I'm pissed or happy, and he knows when to talk, not to talk. And it's just been such a great relationship, on the golf course, but more importantly off the golf course. Our families are close, our kids are close. So I think that helps carry over to the golf course for sure.
Yeah. Well, speaking of on the golf course, there was that story. Tell us the story of when he would club you at a Colonial, and he would call all the shots on the irons.
Well, it was actually the Byron Nelson.
Byron, there you go.
It was your Keegan Bradley won in 2011, I believe. And I made one cut in like 7 tries. It wasn't suiting my game, the golf course, TPC Las Colinas. And he just came up with the idea. Said, he and Randy Smith talked about it, and they just came up with the idea of this. But James is going to call a shot, and you just hit it. So sure enough, we started that Wednesday in the Pro-Am, and it carried over. And I literally didn't do a thing. I didn't get a yardage. I didn't look at the wind. He would tell me what the wind was doing. He'd give me yardage because I want you to hit 5 iron at this tree. I want you to do this with it. And we went 71 holes and one shot doing that. And then when I say one shot, on the 72nd hole, he had 107 yards to the back left pin over water, knowing I had to birdie to get in the playoff. And he pretty much said, look, you've been here 100 times. This is on you now. And so I was like, you've done this for 71 holes, and now you're going to leave me? So made birdie, lost in the playoff. But, yeah, it was that was the one time we tried it somewhere else, but it didn't work. It was a one-time deal.
Well, you mentioned Byron Nelson at that event. This year, it's going to TPC Craig Ranch, about 40 minutes from where you live, roughly. What is your insight on TPC Craig Ranch?
It's going to be great, I think. It's moving up north, obviously, up in the McKinney area. It's a different golf course than what we played the last few years at Trinity Forest, for sure. A little more tree line, a little longer, I think. Big bent grass greens. Depending on the wind, you're going to see a lot of low scores shot there for sure. But I think from a fan standpoint, it's going to be a change for the better. It's going to be great for AT&T, great for the Censorship Club, city of Dallas. It's still 40 minutes from my house, but I can stay home the whole week. So I actually hold the course record there at 61. So it's but no, it's I'm excited to get to Craig Ranch. I think the Censorship Club is going to put on a great event there at Craig Ranch for sure.
Well, you mentioned having the course record there. What is it about that course at Craig Ranch that suits your game so well, Ryan?
It's going to be a big putting contest that week because you got wide fairways. They're going to be hard to tighten the fairways up. Like I said, big greens, but you got to hit it. It's a I think you're going to hit a long ways. It's going to be a bomber's golf course, I think. There are a lot of good shots you need to hit in some of these greens. So I think bringing my ball striking to that golf course will help. If I get the putter rolling, I think I'll have just as good chance as anybody. But it's a long golf course, I think, and hopefully the winds will be up. That's when I enjoy playing golf at home the most, is when the wind's up. I think I have a small, not advantage, but a taste of what the winds do. So I mean, it'll be interesting to see how they get the golf course set up and how fast or firm it can get.
Well, tell us the story of your course record 61. What was that experience like? Who you played with and all that?
Oh gosh, I couldn't remember. I don't even remember when it was. I know I eagled the last hole, 18. So it was one of those days of playing with some buddies and just you catch fire. So yeah, that's about as far as I remember it.
So how many times would you have played it at this point?
Oh man, I'd say a couple dozen times for sure. Just over the years, got some friends that are members out there. But usually when I play, I'm at Colonial or I practice at Vaquero Golf Club. So I don't get up there as much as I probably could. It's hard to go that far when I'm 15 minutes from the house at Vaquero. So we'll get up there a few more times here in the near future and get some more rounds in for sure.
Well, when we talk about local Texas golf, you're an Amarillo guy originally. You live in Colleyville now. But what comes to mind when it comes to sentimental memories as a junior playing golf?
Yeah, I was very blessed in remote Texas. A lot of great amateur golf, older guys that I played with a lot, and the golf community was huge growing up, and it still is big in Amarillo today, I think. But we had such a blast playing in the amateur events in Amarillo, Texas. My teammate at college, Ty Cox, some other guys that played. It was tough. We had a lot of great players. And I think playing those tournaments and learning to win and compete and knowing I had to play well just made me a better player each and every year. And I was able to take that to the next level in college golf and even in the pro ranks. So Amarillo's always been a great golfing community. A lot of great golfers in the area. And I owe a lot to that city and those guys I play with year in, year out.
Yeah. Well, looking ahead in the schedule for you, you're going to be back at the Masters. Hadn't been there since 2015. So how much are you looking forward to getting to Augusta? And you'll be at that practice facility too, one of the best in the world.
No, I am excited. I've been back twice already. James and I went about 2 weeks after the tournament in November, and played with a good friend of ours, Brian Roberts, who's a member there. And then I just got back this past Monday, Tuesday. I was out there with my manager and with Brian again. So we played 2 more rounds. And so it's so good to always get back there. And, you know, it's been 5 years since I played Masters. And I'm excited. I love where my game's at and the fact that I'm back there again. And I'm excited to get my family out there to see it. My kids are older, so they can kind of appreciate it a little more, I think. And, yeah, it's been a great ride this last year and a half, but it's only getting better knowing we got Augusta coming up.
Yeah, it has been a great rise in the rankings for you, really, since the restart. You've gone up like 60 spots, 70 spots in the world golf rankings. What do you attribute that to?
Yeah, I'm just learning learning my game more and more. I'm learning things each and every year. It seems like my ball striking's been there for quite some time now. It's my putter left me a little bit. My short game's gotten so much better. And just my attitude when I'm out there, and just probably believing how good I am and how good I can be, and it's kind of carried over. I'm at peace at home. You know, everything's great with my wife Jennifer, our kids. I'm happy. I'm healthy. That's probably number one thing. That's one thing best fight today is health, and it's just been a great ride. I'm fine wine. I'm getting better with age. It seems like so. I'm trying to ride this train as long as I can.
No, I love that. And I wonder, your audio goes in and out a little bit. I just wonder if it's because of the wind.
Back up a little bit, I bet.
Appreciate you
sound
making
better?
an adjustment. Yeah, it sounds a little more consistent there.
Wind's blowing things around.
Yeah. Well, you're a Texas guy, so you're used to the wind.
This may be better.
There we go. Yeah, that's probably better there. So you're mentioning just playing better. Let me ask you this: as we look at amateurs, you play in pro-ams all the time. You see amateur players warm up, and you see them on the range. What are we doing wrong, and how can we improve our time on the range before we play a round of golf?
It's hard to say what you're doing wrong because it's probably a lot of it. No, I mean, usually when you see guys on the range and in pro-ams, they're so nervous. That's a big part of it. The nerves kick in, and that's a lot of it. You got people around watching, so of course there's more people watching than they're used to. But I get out there with guys. I try to relax them on the first few shots and try to pick at them, not make fun of them so much, but just trying to tease them a little bit, just so they can kind of relax their nerves and know, hey, it's gonna be a fun day. You don't got to stress or worry about it, and then I'll help them on the way throughout the day. And but most of the guys they don't know how to control their distance more than anything. Usually, if somebody's got a 7-iron, I could probably put a 5-iron in their hand. They hit it better because they don't know really how far certain shots go. And then, of course, a lot of guys don't work on short game, and they hit ranges and they go play. And you can see a lot of guys chipping and they're putting. So, but the day is to give them the best day possible and just have fun with them, enjoy it, get to know them a little bit, and give them a little insight of what it's like out here for us.
Well, for the weekend golfer at home, when we've got, I don't know, 20 minutes before we have to tee off, so we're at the course, what is the best way to spend that time?
I'll just loosen up when you get everything warming up. It could be stretching. If there's a weight room there, doing 5 to 10 minutes of light stretch and light work, and then all you need is 10 balls to warm up, I think. And if you're running quickly, yeah, just hit a few balls and make sure you're warmed up, and don't expect to hit it great early on, and let kind of get into the round. And there's moments when I've done the same thing. It's just I have to spend the first couple holes at home playing if I haven't had a chance to do some proper warm ups and just get my body loosened up and moving. That's probably the biggest key.
Well, for you, speaking of loosened up, when you get to the course, what is your pre-round range and practice warm up? What does that look like?
Tournament round, I'll throw a 8 a.m. tee time at you. I'm up probably 5:30, and I'll get kind of woke up a little bit, and then I'll be in the gym for 30 minutes at least. And then I'll see my my physical therapist that I see out here regularly about an hour and a half before I tee off, and then a quick bite, and then I'm on the putting green about an hour before, going through some putting drills and work on my putting for about 10 minutes or so. Then on the range about 45 minutes to my tee time, and then I spend the last 10 minutes hitting some more putts, and then I'm on the tee ready to go. So it's a process, different time of the day, different routines, but I try to give myself 4 hours to get kind of my mind going. Like I said, if I'm at 8 a.m., I'm up by 5, trying to get going and working out. So it's a half-hour workout every day before every round for sure.
And in that range time, though, like how are you going through your bag? Is there like a certain process you go through your bag?
Yeah, we're all crazy golfers out here. So yeah, I start with I can't tell you how many balls. I mean, it's lob wedge from little pitches to full shots. Depends on how many balls. Into my gap wedge, and then I go to my pitch wedge, to my 8-iron, to my 6-iron, some 4-irons, and then I'll hit some 5-woods, whether it's tee shots or second shots I know I'll hit, and then I'll do the same thing with my 3-wood, work on some fairway 3-woods, and then I'll hit some tee shots with it, and then to the driver. So the amount of balls depends on how I'm hitting it, and then I'll go chip for about 5 to 10 minutes before, and then I'm back on the putting green. So I mean, it's hard to say how many balls each club. I mean, I try to stick to about 5 or 6 balls each club. Like, as long as I'm hitting it well, there's no reason to sit there and keep grinding, hitting balls. So I know when I'm hitting it well, it's time to go.
Yeah. Well, on practice days, like when you're on the range, just with what kind of different training aids do you like to use to kind of get yourself synced up?
No, I'm not using aids. I mean, alignment sticks is really it. The foresight launch monitor just to see how the ball's flying. Some yardage control distances, and But as far as age, I'm not an age guy. I'm a pretty natural feeling kind of swing. Um, I do it my way, and that's what's been so great. I've never really tried to adjust or change things, and I'm not a big swing aid guy. I'll get crazy if I try to use those, and I'll find something wrong. So I try to keep it as simple as possible.
Well, I know around the time of Sherwood at the Zozo, you were starting to draw a line on your golf ball for alignment. What kinds of things do you do on the putting green or with short game when it comes to like, I don't know if it's gadgets or any kind of aid there?
Yeah, we got a mirror we use to practice my stroke. It's got tees in certain areas where I can work on, having a straightforward path with my putter, and work on little things like that. And then chipping, just getting a feel for chipping. Not really any gadget or anything specific I do. Definitely went to the line. At Shriners in Vegas this year was the first tournament, and I was struggling lining up my putter, and they found I was lining up way right a lot. So we went to a line, the program, and started just trusting that, and it just took off. I'm seeing the lines better. I'm making more putts, and it was a great addition to get my slump with the putter kind of in a better direction, and it's been working so far. And I was thankful James brought that idea up because it's been great so far.
Well, you mentioned you're a slump with the putter. With different clubs, when you're trying to make adjustments as new technology comes out, what's your process with that?
I'm not a big switcher. I use the same irons. The 710, there's a 2010 AP2 I used about 2 years ago. And so I'm not a big switcher. My putter was made back in the early 90s at Rossi 2. When I get a driver in my hand that I like, as long as doesn't break, I can go a year or two with it easily. So when I find something I like, I'm not a switcher at all. And it's pretty funny. In 18 years, all the club companies that want me to try things know that, yeah, you can try this, but I know you're not going to use it. So, but they all know who I am. But that's just the way I've played it, and that's probably been the why I've had so much success. Is I've kept it simple. When it's working, I don't change it, and that's kind of how I've gone about it.
Hmm. Well, speaking of keeping things simple, you're a great wind player. You spent so much time in Texas. What's your advice to us weekend golfers when we have a lot of wind that we have to deal with at the golf course?
Yeah, I would say you probably need to learn how to swing a little smoother. A lot of three-quarter shots. You start swinging full, all that ball gets up in the wind, it's gone, and you just got to learn to hit flighted shots. I could sit there and tell you how to do it, and people's heads would spin probably. But I think a lot of guys try to hit it harder when it's windy, and I think the more you can control your swing, a little more slower tempo, it'll help you make contact. Because making more solid contact with the wind will definitely help that ball spin the way you need it to, and penetrate the winds. And that's probably the one thing I see guys do when it's real windy. They try to hit it harder than it should.
Well, when we're trying to close around and we're on the last hole, what is some good advice for us to kind of keep our mind in the game? If we're trying to break 80 for the first time in 10 years, how do we stay involved?
Just believe in what you're doing. When things are going, not the best, I always think about shots I've hit in the past, putts I've made at crucial moments, tee shots I've hit when I needed to hit a fairway. So things like that, I try to go back and look at, and really think about the positive side of things I've had before. Think about those shots I hit when I had to, the putts I needed to make. So when you come in the last few holes and you're sitting at, you're going to break 80 for the first time, all you can do is keep doing what you're doing and not think about it, and just finish the race. That's all you can do, and play to the end, and just play till there's nowhere else to go. So that's the best advice I can give, is just believe in what you're doing and remember the good moments you've had, and that should carry you all the way through.
Well, speaking of good moments, you had some great ones with Jon Rahm a couple years ago when you guys won in New Orleans. What is it like being teammates with Jon Rahm? What's that dynamic like? How is he as a teammate?
That's great. It's so fun watching a guy as good as he is, and his drive. He's so into it, and you see his emotions, how he carries. He gets so frustrated, but that's just his desire. He's such a good player, a great player, and I love. I mean, one of the best wedges in the world. There's no doubt about it. And we both kind of strike the ball the same. Our games are similar, tee to green, but around the greens, he's one of the best. I think it's in that Spanish blood. But no, we had a blast. I love learning his intensity. I learned a lot from him, and I thought maybe he could learn a little bit from me as far as the casual side of it. Maybe I don't know, but we were a great team. Can't wait to do it again this year, and I like our chances.
What do you like? I mean, think about there's only a handful of European players that get to play with him during Ryder Cups as teammates, and you have played with him here. So, what do you think about that dynamic? Just like what you guys bring together as teammates?
Just we're good friends. Our caddies are real close. I know Adam Hayes real well. Known him a long time. He and James are, like I said, real close, and we bring the same game almost. The way we drive, we both great drivers of the ball. Very solid iron players. I know when my shots are offline, he knows how to get up and down with wedges, and the way he putts. And if I get my putter rolling, I mean, it's almost like we can't miss if we're both on. And even when we do, we know the other one's there to back each other up. So it was a great team. It was funny how it all came together, but I'm glad it did.
Yeah. Two more topics as we wrap up. We mentioned Augusta earlier. Was the practice facility open when you were there practicing earlier, or is that only during Masters Week that's open?
No, it's only for the tournament. So we're on the members range. So yeah, they only use that range for the tournament only.
Had you used it during the tournament, at your last one? Do you remember?
Oh yeah. It was. I mean, I've been on it a few times now since
what's it like?
The few matches. It's a big range. I mean, it has a couple of the greens with the design and the bunkering. So you're able to work on tee shots. You can hit so many different tee shots on that range the way they've got it designed, and the short game area is spectacular. I mean, it doesn't get any better. So you're probably right. It's probably one of the best practice facilities in the world, if not the best.
Yeah. Well, hey, U.S. Open going to Torrey Pines, a place you played really well. How much are you looking forward to that, Ryan?
Very much. I haven't played a U.S. Open on a course that I'm used to, and the rough's going to be different. It won't be overseas like it always is in January. So it'll be a thicker, different rough, I think. Firmer, faster golf course for sure. But just the history I've had there, the confidence I'll bring to that golf course, and knowing how to play each hole, it gives me a lot more confidence playing the U.S. Open than I've had in the past. So I'm excited to get there in June, and I think I might have a better U.S. Open I've had in the past. So I'm excited.
Yeah, and then lastly, you got your AirPods in. What's your go-to music you listen to when you're driving to the golf course or just out and about?
I like a lot of the new country stuff. I'm a big 80s fan, 80s rock. So I like to throw a lot of 80s music on more than anything.
So like U2, what is that?
What's that?
Are you talking about U2 80s music? Like what kind of bands? Depeche Mode?
No,
Or?
more of your 80s rock, your soft rock, and I guess your Journey, your RO Speedwagons, and that type. So that's some of my better music.
Great stuff, Ryan. Well, hey, great getting to know you here on Beyond the Clubhouse. Thanks for joining here for a little bit.
You got it, Garrett. Thank you. Appreciate it.